Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome to My Crochet Story, where I share with you two things that I love, teaching and crochet. Well, I picked up my Sophie, so I finally got part 6 finished, but before I show that to you, let me say thank you so much to all of you, whether you are current subscribers or someone that is just trying to find a new channel to watch. Thank you all so much for being here. And speaking of those of you that are new, please take a moment to see what other content I have, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and then look for the notification bell with the little hugs on the side, because it will let you know every time I upload content. So let me show you my Sophie, but before I do, let me show you what this section that I've just completed is supposed to look like. Now, as you know, Sophie has been sitting over here in her basket for about 2 or 3 weeks now because I've had other projects pop up and I just couldn't squeeze any time in there to get her. So I had only 3 rows left to finish, and now of course, guys, please understand, Sophie here in these pictures that I'm getting ready to show you is blocked. Mine is not blocked at the moment, so there you go. Now remember, these are in 3 different weights, or 3 different color styles, but that's what she's supposed to be looking like. Alrighty. Now, as I said, I just completed row 53, and that brings me to the end of part 6 of Sophie's. So let me show you what I got. Let me get my book over here out of the way. There we go. Set it down there in the basket and let me pull her up here so you can see. Alright, I'm going to show you all of the blanket that I've got put together so far, and then I'll talk to you about the little section here that I've just completed. So, let me hold her up here. There she is, folks, in all of her glory at the moment. And you know, it's funny how I go back and forth on whether I still like my color choice. I am using the Mandela. It is called Cool. It's just in the shades of, you know, the black and the brown. I really liked it, the blacks and the grays and the whites. It's got a little touch of brown in there every once in a while, but I really liked it because it reminds me of newsprint. Isn't that crazy? But that's the reason why I have liked it. Now, it's funny how I go from every couple of rows saying, man, I wished I'd had picked another yarn, to, oh, I'm really happy that I picked this yarn. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyhow, so let me show you. Let me find a short side first. Now, there's really not a lot going on the short side, other than this one little addition here in the, let me get her up here just right so you can see her. Where are you? Okay, there are the corners. Other than the addition of these little leaves here, right there, there's really not a lot going on. I mean, it's just counting stitches. You get to the middle of the leaf here and you either add a post stitch or just another, like a half double. Most of these here along the short side have just been single crochets, and then we have half double, chain 1, half double to make the corners, and that's really about all that's going on here on the short side. I don't know what section she starts going, you know, getting bigger to the point where she's just totally square, but anyway, we're still dealing with an octagon type shape, but not in the true sense of an octagon, because octagons are supposed to have all equal sides in length. Well, this one obviously is not. But anyway, so that's all that's going on here on the short side at the moment. Now, on the long side, let me see if I can get her going here just enough. We added in, which I hope you can see them, some more little tulips here, and it's just really hard because of my color choices. But you see these white tulips here, down here. Well, that's what we added in here, is another row of white tulip. Well, is another row of tulips. And then we finished out the row with framing them in this little like top half of a diamond, I guess you could say. And it's caused it to kind of, for the moment, on the row, pull itself downward. But when you look in the next section with the grouping of stitches that we will do on top of this, it'll cause it to pull back up and not curl in on itself, and then you'll start seeing this pretty little V shape that's framing the top of each one of those tulips. So there she is. I tell you what, guys, I never in a million years would have thought that I would have enjoyed making a blanket as much as I am this one. I really am. Because, you know, I keep telling you, blankets are not my thing. I don't like making blankets. But this one has enough variety in it that I don't feel like I'm getting bored. And I think that's the reason why I don't like making blankets. You know, you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I don't even care if you can stretch it out to like maybe a 4 or 5 row repeat to get some kind of pattern going. Eventually, for me, it becomes monotonous. But this has not been monotonous because it just, I keep telling you guys, it amazes me what she has created from one row to the next. The variance in stitches, how she's made it come together, blows my mind, tell you what. But I am enjoying it. Look, I just can't get over. Just look at her. Like I said, this kind of blanket I could definitely pick up and keep doing and making more of. So there she is. So far, I will be starting part 7 next week. Probably get 1 or 2 rows in. I'm not going to ignore her as long as I did this last time. I mean, in fact, funny story is, when I picked her up, I was ready to start the next row. But in reality, I wasn't, because when I put her down, and I don't know why, because folks, I don't normally do this. In fact, 99.9% of the time, as my husband would say, I don't ever do this. But I didn't complete out the row. So I was trying to start row 57 on the last leg of row 50. And I kept thinking, why is the stitch count not coming out here? And I put it down and I'd pick it back up again. I'd put it down, pick it back up again. And I thought, I'm going to have to rip out this whole row because something is wrong. Well, I got about 2 or 3 stitches in and pulling out, and I went, well, wait a minute. I didn't complete out the row, and that was the reason why my stitch count wasn't coming out right. So I backed up to row 50, finished out, because it was a whole long side that I had not finished. And so I finished out the long side, started on the new row, and everything else was fine. So note to self and to everyone else, when you're working on a large project, before you put it down or pack it away for a little while, be sure you complete the row you're working on. You know, even us old dogs, you know, every once in a while need to be reminded of what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. So, anyways, I hope to show you a little bit more progress next week. I hope you are enjoying my particular color choice and what she's looking like. Thank you again so much for sharing your time with me today. And as always, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your light that they are meant to see. I love you all. Bye.